The Yeti, or abominable snowman, traces its roots to Himalayan folklore from Central Asia, and is well known in both cryptozoology and popular culture, including movies, books, and TV shows. The first Western accounts of the creature were published by 1832 by a man named Brian Hodgson, who was the British minister to Nepal. Over the years, many explorers and mountaineers reported finding large footprints and claimed to have spotted a Yeti or two. In 1951, climber Eric Shipton took a famous photograph of a Yeti print, and throughout the 1950s, millionaire adventurer Tom Slick led several Himalayan expeditions to track down the cryptid. Dozens of tracks and sightings were reported over the next several decades, but analyses of photos, pelts, bones, and claw marks have mixed results. In 2001, DNA tests performed on alleged Yeti hairs revealed they did not come from any known creature, but to this day, most skeptics continue to attribute Yeti claims to hoaxes, bears, or unknown primate species. Here's some lore to include Yetis in your Dungeons & Dragons or other role-playing games. The shaggy, ferocious, enigmatic creatures that rule the coldest mountain peaks are known by many names, but their most common moniker is the Yeti. Those civilized people who dwell in cities or towns in the Northlands say that Yetis are tremendously muscular beneath their thick white fur, and they claim a single Yeti can kill a yak with one punch, bite off a man's head in its enormous maw, and raise a settlement overnight, leaving only smoking ruins and broken corpses in its wake. The savage creatures are like living ice, and they embody the killing essence of winter, ripping with the raw power of cold in every slash of their razor talons. They tower over humans, their powerful arms hanging to their knees and orange eyes forever ablaze with hatred and bloodlust. Yetis stink of death. Their mere presence is enough to make the frail faint and the hardy retch. Of course, such details are purported by people who have never actually seen a Yeti, much less encountered one up close. In truth, most civilized folk don't even believe the snowmen are real, though that doesn't stop them from spreading their frightening stories. In truth, they believe reports of Yetis in the mountains are just hallucinations brought on by altitude sickness, sightings of long-haired bears or gorillas, or the ravings of explorers whose minds have been addled from hypothermia. Far removed from the noise of civilization, native villagers who dwell in the foothills and valleys of the mountain tell a different story. They know Yetis are real, and they also know these white beasts are intelligent and largely misunderstood. Mountain guides often speak of Yetis as brave, perhaps even noble people. Yetis are to be respected, feared on occasion, and viewed in their proper role as the stewards of the world's beautiful and terrifying peaks. Indeed, unbeknownst to many, Yetis might be all that stand between the people of this world and baleful invaders from other worlds. Mountainside communities and small valley towns are prime targets for renegade Yetis that seek to raid cattle and despoil crops. Slaughtered animals, unusual footprints, and bloody trails all provide ample evidence that something brutal lurks in the nearby mountains. And if there's a band of heroes at the ready, townsfolk would certainly rather send these strangers to investigate the strange going-ons than risk their own lives. If one or two outcast Yetis have been troubling a village in the foothills, the PCs might be asked to drive the monsters away, possibly without harming them, since many locals harbor a degree of superstitious reverence for the creatures. If the Yetis are desperate for food, chasing them off will be a difficult task. In rare cases, a settlement might suffer attacks by an entire tribe of Yetis under the influence of some malign, otherworldly force. Yetis are masters of their terrain, and so they are usually well aware of an advancing party of PCs long before the adventurers even realize they're in Yeti territory. If the Yetis are particularly violent or hungry and have no intention of parleying with the heroes, they often initiate battle by rolling boulders down icy hills or evoking avalanches with their bestial cries. Yetis use the element of surprise perhaps more often and more effectively than any other battle tactic. The PCs might have any number of reasons to journey into Yeti-inhabited mountains. A caravan might hire the party to see it safely through a mountain pass before spring floods make the crossing impossible. A research expedition may need porters for an attempt to summit the highest peak in their region. Wealthy friends of a famous climber could be desperate to learn the fate of their colleague, who never returned from his most recent trek. A big game hunter who wants to add a Yeti to his collection of exotic trophy heads might invite the party along. No matter the details, a short Yeti encounter makes a fine addition to any adventure set in the mountains or valleys of the Arctic. Okay, just to close out, I was about to apologize for not having a video out for so long, but honestly, I'm fine with videos coming out at the pace that I want them to. I'm not beholden to a schedule at all right now, which makes me feel good. This is all off the cuff. I don't have any sort of script or anything written for this. Also, I apologize if I sound sick. It is due to the fact that I am sick. So that might be something. So yeah, turns out school got the better of me and ended up being way more difficult than I thought this semester. So I am glad that it is finals week and that I am almost out of this sort of nightmare. Not really a nightmare. I've been having a blast, but almost out of the thick of things for the most part. So I just hope you guys enjoyed this read through about Yetis, and hopefully a new video can come sooner than every 6 months, at least. I hope so in the future. I want to get more regular about this. I really do. Everything's a little turbulent right now, but I'm doing pretty good. I'm feeling great. It's just busy, busy, busy. All right, well, thanks, guys.